who are going to be the breakout stars next year in NCAA wrestling. And some of these names, especially if you're a diehard, you're really into wrestling, you'll know some of these names. But I'm hoping even for you diehards, I put you on a couple wrestlers. Maybe you didn't realize what they had done in the past. So some of these names you're going to be like, oh yeah, I know that guy. Some will be like, really? He's ranked 7th to start the year. Oh, this guy, I've never heard of this guy. I'm not familiar with this wrestler from Wyoming, et cetera, et cetera. So whether you're kind of new to NCAA wrestling or you're a diehard, I'm hoping you learn a little something and get a couple names on your radar. Let's start with the no-brainers, right? These are wrestlers that have not yet taken the that step forward, whether they're freshmen or they have not had the success at the NCAA tournament yet. These are wrestlers I think are poised for breakout season. We'll start with a big one, a no-brainer. I'm saying this is maybe, for Team USA, our best or second best wrestler not on a world team this year. And that young man's name is Marcus Blae. This guy is beyond good. He is beyond his years. He is internationally elite. He is someone, if he made a world team, I'd say he's got a shot at a senior world medal. He is that good, but he's not on the team. He didn't make it. It was right there, lost to Seth Gross, and that was ultimately his only opportunity to make that senior world team. He tried at 65. He's not quite sized for it yet. But let me get to it. Marcus Blae, Penn State. I believe he's going to be Penn State's starting 133-pounder this year. The guy's ready to go. He's extremely good. He did an interview where he said, 61's my natural weight. It's going to be where I'm planning to wrestle next year for Penn State, 133 pounds. Can he win NCAAs as a freshman? Absolutely. I think he's that good. I think he's a ready-to-go wrestler. And I think his head, hands, his defense is going to get him in every... If he's a consistent wrestler who can get off the bottom, he's so hard to take down that I think he's going to be in every match. And what we saw, you should go and watch his true third match against Brock Hardy. Brock Hardy, who, yes, that Brock Hardy that you watched wrestle on Saturday night, the guy that you watched beat Jesse Mendez at Big Tens, that you watched make the NCAA finals. Yes, that Brock Hardy, Marcus Blae picked him apart. Now you'll say it's freestyle, folks. One, Brock Hardy's really good at freestyle. Two, you watch, a lot of this stuff has folk style applicability. This is just great position, pristine leg attacks, and really nice finishes. Okay? Watch that match and you'll say, wow, Marcus Blae is the real deal. And he's going to be down in a weight class. I thought Brock Hardy dwarfed him in that match. So Marcus Blae, look for a breakout season. That's if you're into wrestling, that's a name you know. This is a name you're going to watch wrestle in big dual meets, wrestle in probably the Big Ten finals and potentially the NCAA finals. He is that good. And the word out of Penn State in the recruiting battles. And Penn State, listen, they don't just get one guy. They get a lot of really good wrestlers. But the amount of priority that Marcus Blae was given, I learned about. Cale Sanderson was just not going to be denied on getting Marcus Blae, a top priority type of recruit. He is that good. And so I think everyone is going to learn that in the coming years. Ben Deino, another 33-pounder. This guy for Ohio State from Illinois had a great redshirt year, 19-1. I just love wrestlers that redshirt and they actually wrestle. What are you practicing for? Get on the mats. Go compete. If you're injured, that's one thing. But so many red shirts, they just take the year off and just practice. But practice for what? I think that competition shows a lot. And getting 20 matches in a redshirt year is really good. Beat some good guys. His only loss was a tiebreaker loss to Big Ten champ Dylan Chauver. He beat Ethan Oakley. He beat Nick Bouzakis, his teammate, Ryan Miller from Penn. And now he's going to be in a roster battle against Nick Bouzakis. But he beat him last year. That was his true freshman year. Have to assume he is going to go and win that spot outright. So look for Ben Deino to have a big year. Another name, Aiden Sinclair. This is a guy who actually, for Missouri, he's going to be their 184-pounder this year. Now, if you look at his results, he wrestled the majority of last year at 197. But he was well under 197. 184 is not really much of a weight cut for Aiden, as Coach Smith explained on the show when he was a guest on FloWrestling Radio Live. He said, yeah, he's not even that big of an 84. He was just wrestling up. And if you watched him at all on the freestyle mat, he was a big story, right? He's a guy who made it to the U.S. Open finals, the World Team Trials finals, losing to Trent Hidley, losing to Josh Barr, right? Had really tight matches with Max McAnally, who we all saw what Max McAnally did last year at the NCAA level. He was right there with Carter Starachi, ended up taking third, beating Dustin Plott. I mean, this Max McAnally is a real deal. Go watch his matches with Aiden Sinclair. That's going to give you some real perspective. Now, he's ranked 11th to start the year because the NCAA results are not quite there to put Aiden in that top 4, 5, 6 category. But I believe that those days are coming for Aiden. Another name, similar kind of category, number 11th, Oklahoma State's Cody Merrill. This guy out of California, redshirted last year for Oklahoma State. He had some really nice results, including a win over All-American Isaiah Salazar, and he gave Stephen Buchanan, go back and watch that match at the Soldier Salute, national champion Stephen Buchanan. Very competitive bout. His defense, kind of like Blaze, is going to have him in every match. Really heavy hips, moves his feet well. If he can add a little more offense, a little more of an attacking mentality, and you have to assume that's probably the message from David Taylor to Cody Merrill, I think he's going to be a factor at 197. I think he's someone that could go 184, but I think his best weight is probably 197 pounds, especially considering this next name I'm going to talk about, Oklahoma State's Zach Ryder. He is ranked 8th coming into this year, even though he redshirted last year for Penn State, transferred to Oklahoma State. And according to the merch that Zach Ryder's selling, he's going 184. Now, I theorized like a month or so ago, maybe Ryder goes down to 174. He's wrestled at 79 kilograms, 174 pounds. Maybe he makes his way down there and they slide Facundo down to get in Braden Thompson at 184. I don't think that's going to be the case. I think he's going 184 based on the merch, right? He's selling 184-pound t-shirts, which is kind of a funny thing, but in the era of NIL, that's actually intel. So it seems like he's going 184, and this guy's got a lot of really good wins. He beat Brian Soldano. He beat Shane Cartagena-Welsh. He beat All-American TJ Stewart, D'Anthony Parker. He's a freestyle world medalist. The guy's a real deal. He was a blue chip prospect. He was going to be the starter for Penn State at 184, replacing Carter Starachi until Rocco Welsh came in. He left, and I think he's going to have a really nice year for Oklahoma State, as will Alex Facundo. Now, that's a very familiar name because he was really good at Penn State. But Alex Facundo is yet to win a match at the NCAA tournament. I think that is definitely going to change this year. I think the change in weight class, not necessarily the change in scenery, because I think he'd be really good at Penn State, but he's going to do well at Oklahoma State. I really believe that. And it sounds like the word is he's getting his swagger back a little bit, his confidence. And remember, this guy is an unbelievable athlete. He's got a freestyle win over Levi Haynes. And now I really think Alex Facundo, he's ranked 9th to start the year. Look for a quick climb up into that top 3, 4, or 5 for Alex Facundo. And the last one, he's ranked 19th, Stanford's Aiden Valencia. Now, if you look at his NCAA results, they're modest at this point, and there's no denying that. He went 0-2 at Cliff Keen, Las Vegas. Now, he lost to 2 really good guys. He lost to Sergio Limley and Cale Happel, really elite wrestlers at 141. And I think he was a poster child for a guy that could use a redshirt year, learning how to win those matches, learning how to really compete. Some guys are ready right away. Skill-wise, Aiden is ready. Competition-wise, that's where I think Aiden can take some steps forward. But let's face the facts. Pedigree-wise, Aiden Valencia, he's a hair's breadth from being our rep at 65 kilograms, senior level. I mean, how close this guy was to making our world team, I don't even know if you realize. At the U.S. Open, he had beaten Real Woods, okay? And then he's wrestling Joey McKenna. He's got Joey McKenna beat. And McKenna gets a late exposure to win that match and to defeat Aiden Valencia. Aiden Valencia then goes to the World Team Trials where he's once again wrestling Real Woods, who he's beaten twice. Our rep, Real Woods, that's right. And he is winning with like 5 seconds to go. He's about to beat Real Woods, who is on our team. He's our guy. And Real Woods hits him with a nice club, low double, gets the takedown as time expires, and Aiden Valencia loses to Real Woods. Okay, that's who we're talking about. That's a guy that's this close to making the senior world team, the best of the best, the best in Team USA. That's where Aiden Valencia is. You may say freestyle. I say I'm not a wrestling guy, but how Aiden Valencia wins, he wins on leg attacks. He wins on offense. He wins on really good pressure. He's a good athlete, and I think he's going to have a very, very good year. He's ranked 19th he's going to be a fast climber up the ranks for Stanford. Expect a big year from Aiden Valencia. Okay, a couple other ones. These are maybe a little lower on the awareness awareness level, right? You may not know some of these names. Eddie Nietenbach, who? Wyoming's Eddie Nietenbach kind of came on at the end. He's got a couple nice ones. He's ranked 15th to start the year. He's got a win over Colton Hawks. He beat Dennis Rodman, TJ McDonald, only a sophomore. And Wyoming, they do well at this weight range. The development for Wyoming, they find these guys and they're a little under the radar. And Coach Branch and company just do a great job at this with this weight range. And I look for Eddie Nietenbach to be a guy who potentially takes a step forward. Jackson Joy, you talk to Cornell wrestlers, and he's going to be probably 149 for Cornell. He's 140. He's ranked 20 to start the season. There's a ton of excitement in Ithaca for Jackson Joy. Most of his wins are at the freestyle level, but I'm anticipating a really, really strong performance for Jackson Joy for Cornell. They're really excited about them, and Cornell is not a... When you talk to some wrestler or some coaching staffs, they'll gas up a guy, and then you're like, the results aren't there. When you get that from Cornell, normally they're the real deal. So I fully anticipate that from Jackson Joy. Big year coming for Joy. Max Brignola from Lehigh. This is a sleeper for sure, but he's ranked 7th, and I'm sure as you're scanning the 165, Max Brignola, who is that? Well, 18-0 last year in redshirt. He redshirted last year. Didn't wrestle the varsity competition, but he wrestled a lot of good guys. He beat Nico Ruiz, national qualifier for Arizona State. He beat Ethan Burden for Ohio State by tech. Ethan Burden is a hard guy to score on, not for Max Brignola. He beat Julian Ramirez from Cornell. Very tough Julian. I mean, Julian is a guy with wins over Shane Griffith and Quincy Monday and David Carr and on and on. And well, Max Brignola beat him. That's a really good win for Max and Derek Fields. So look for Max Brignola to live up to that ranking and potentially even climb the rung a few spots. For a Lehigh team that there should be a lot of excitement about. They have a lot of talent entering the lineup in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. So look out for the Mountain Hawk, especially Max Brignola. Coy Hopke, I mentioned him in the heavyweight video, didn't wrestle last year, so he's not ranked, right? But his pedigree is high. He's a Fargo champ, national champ, top-ranked guy throughout much of his career at heavyweight. Minnesota knows heavyweights. Look for a big year from Coy Hopke. Charlie Millard, another Golden Gopher, redshirted last year. He's ranked 20th to start the year, I believe at, I think he's at 157. It might be at 65, actually, now that I think about it. But Chittum, Siebrecht, he beat both of those guys. An Askren Wrestling Academy product. Good scrambler, offensive guy. I think he's going to have a really solid year for Minnesota. Justin Rademacher, this is a name that maybe it should have been in that first group, but he was such an under-the-radar guy coming out of high school that I feel like he's still someone that is not household enough, even though this is a guy that made a U20 world team, brought home a medal, has been really good on the international stage, has not had that level of accomplishment NCAA-wise, went 1-2 at the NCAA tournament in 2024, redshirted last year. He's going to be back in the lineup this year for the Beavers of Oregon State, and I think he's a top 4, top 5 potential guy. Had a win over Cody Merrill last year at the Reno TOC, and I look for Rademacher to really enter that title contending echelon at 197 for Oregon State. I think he's that good. Nathan Taylor, another Lehigh Mountain Hawk, someone who was off the mat last year with injury. They transferred in Owen Treffen. Treffen got on the podium. Lehigh does a really nice job in their development. I think we're going to see that with Nathan Taylor. This is a guy with wins over last year's All-American Josh Heinzman. He beat Owen Treffen, Luis Fernandez, Connor Doucette. A lot of elite names. Nathan Taylor has wins over, and I think could very likely culminate with an All-American finish for Nathan Taylor. And the last one, I just wrote, believe me. I was hyping this guy so hard going into last year, and he got a season-ending injury. Caleb Larkin, believe me. Kyler Larkin's big brother. I think this guy is just going to have a fantastic, fantastic career year. I think he's going to enter that title contending realm. No matter what weight he goes, I think it'll be 157. We'll see. Caleb Larkin can wrestle from everywhere. Offense, great leg attacks, great counter offense, great from the top position. I couldn't be more excited about Caleb Larkin. So that's my list. It's not, I'm sure there's gonna be other breakouts. I tried to be pretty comprehensive, but didn't want to do everyone. What do you think about my list? Do you think these guys are going to have standout performances? And is there anyone I missed? Anyone you think is about to have a breakout year? I want to know. Give me the scoop. Who do you think is going to turn some heads this year?